spinal column and touch the crown in your head, your pineal gland, and do a releasing of the glory of God, or whatever it is they want to call it, inside of your life. Listen, we can see this. We can see this in the Roman Catholic Church. We can see this in the charismatic movement. We can see this everywhere in the contemplative prayer movement. My goodness, they're even teaching yoga now in the churches. They're teaching church people to have this serpent uncoil up their spine and free. Remember, they promise freedom, they promise liberty, but they themselves are the servants of bondage. And that's what these 7 rays of the Statue of Liberty, her crown, is very similar to, we always see these images of a goddess holding a little bitty baby. You say, well, that's the Virgin Mary and Jesus. No, it's not really. They have the images of the solar rays behind their heads, or the images of the Son God who has died and is now going to be resurrected in the form of this child that's born. Remember Lady Gaga coming out of her egg? That was called the Orphic egg, and it represents Orpheus, who has been slain, and he is down in a pit, and he's going to be rebirthed one of these days. And the Orphic egg was a symbol. The Orphic egg, of course, has a little snake coiling around it. The Orphic egg is a symbol of the rise of the beast, or the Antichrist, or the rebirth of the beast in the period of time that we refer to as the last day. So, here we have the crown of the Statue of Liberty. We have the 7 rays, and we understand what that's referring to. The 7 heads of the beast. The 7 mountains upon which the whore sitteth. Talking about the 7 continents of the world. Total earth domination of every kingdom on earth. That's what those 7 rays are all about. Then we look at the symbolism of the torch. And this, to me, is very, very interesting. We saw a while ago that Manly Hall referred to this emblem as the torch of enlightenment. It represents the fire of illumination that's burning, that will burn inside of you. Think of things that are on fire. Okay, think of things that burn, all right? That's the symbolism that we get here. And notice that this imagery can be seen in a lot of places. Here is the goddess. Now, talking about French Freemasonry. This emblem here, another emblem of the goddess of liberty. She's holding her torch of Lucifer. She's sitting on a throne with all these Masonic symbols. She is the one that guided the French Revolution. That spirit now exists in the United States of America. A revolution is a transformation, a change from one authority to another. And that's what you saw in France. This is what's coming to America, probably very soon. This is what's coming to America. But you see this imagery everywhere. How about this? And I could talk a little bit about the name Columbia. You know what that comes from? It comes from the word Columbine, or columb, which basically references a dove. Now, a dove in the mystery religions is a symbol of the goddess itself. Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. By the way, we have a statue over a giant building called the Capitol Building in Washington, the District of Columbia. We have a goddess that rules over the affairs of what's going on inside of Washington, D.C. One occultist writer in his book From Earth to Heaven said, Lucifer, having regained his star and his diadem, that's the crown, will assemble his legions for new works of creation. Attracted by his flaming torch, celestial spirits will descend, remember the rain's coming down, and he will send these messengers from unknown spheres to the earth. Then the torch of Lucifer will signal from heaven to earth, and the New Age Christ will answer. This torch is intended to represent a new spirit, a spirit that now governs the affairs of our country or any place else that this goddess is represented That's what she represents. We also see the image of Shekinah. Now, I've talked about this before, and I think it's very interesting that this phrase Shekinah shows up in mainstream Christianity, and nobody seems to know where it comes from. This idea, people say, oh, God shows up, there's the Shekinah glory there. Number one, that word Shekinah is not found. It's not found in the English Bibles. It's not found in any of the Hebrew texts. That word is not there. Number two, it's not a masculine noun. It's a feminine one. The idea of Shekinah, you see her there holding her Lucifer light, the enlightenment that she's going to bring to mankind. The idea behind Shekinah is that she is the consort of Jehovah. And when Jehovah and Shekinah couple themselves together in this great celestial lovemaking act, that's when the glory is released. That's what Gnosticism is all about. Gnosticism says, we have this flame of divinity, this spark of divinity inside of us, and when the Shekinah comes, or when we perform this sacred great rite ritual that you see in witchcraft, when we perform this, then it comes out to full-blown Godhead. Remember the movie Bruce Almighty? It's about this guy receiving these godlike powers, and Morgan Freeman, who explains to Jim Carrey inside this movie why he did this, he says all of humanity has a spark of divinity inside them. That's Gnosticism, and that's exactly what we're referring to. It's about transforming humans from having God as our Father and Creator. Remember, Adam was called the Son of God in Luke chapter 3, so therefore we all as human beings represent the offspring of God. We are created by God Himself. But now mankind is about to be, quote unquote, born again. And then will come true the saying which Jesus said in Matthew chapter 23, ye are of your father the devil, ye serpents, ye generations of vipers. That's literally what is going to come to pass. It is about the transformation of humanity. That's what this statue represents. That's what this torch represents. It represents the new mind that comes about as a result of her spirit ruling in the hearts of mankind. Now, something again interesting about this torch that I'm going to show you. I actually have a commercial. We're going to go for a commercial break here in a minute. I'm going to show you something that to me just jumped out at me, especially when I read this. At the base of the Statue of Liberty, there is a famous poem. Give me your poor, you're tired, you're hungry, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you remember that one? That poem was written in dedication to the Statue of Liberty. It's called the New Colossus. Remember, the Statue of Liberty was designed after the Colossus of Rhodes. It's called the New Colossus. And here is a portion of that poem. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land, here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. Now, going back to Revelation chapter 9. I just find this so absolutely interesting. Revelation chapter 9, here we have this idea of a king who's in the pit, and the Bible refers to that as the prison. We have a king who is imprisoned. He's referred to as the imprisoned lightning in this poem at the base of the Statue of Liberty. And this imagery of lightning. Remember Harry Potter? He's got a mark on his forehead. It's a lightning bolt is what it is. Okay? Remember what Jesus said in Luke chapter 10 verse 18? And He said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. You know what lightning is a symbol of? It's the symbol of the fusion of opposites. We have heaven and earth joined together. We have positive and negative joined together. You know this AC/DC thing? Okay? We have positive and negative joined together. That's the fusion of opposites. What it represents is, we find in Genesis chapter 6, the sons of God, the celestial beings, the fallen angels, mating or marrying the daughters of men. They literally are the opposites coming together. And that's what this symbol of lightning represents. So we have the imprisoned lightning. We have a movie that has touched the hearts of children all across America and all over the world, called Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the lightning thief. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but Satan is referred to in the Bible as a thief. He's now referred to as lightning. And so here, watch this now. Here we have Percy Jackson, who is half human and half God. The fusion of those two things together, the fusion of opposites, the sons of God, a son of God, an angel, a God, mated with a human woman, and created Perseus Jackson, who holds the power of the lightning. Just like the Statue of Liberty, he holds the power of the imprisoned lightning in his hand. Remember, that hand is a symbol of the fifth angel sounding with the key, releasing the angels out of the bottomless pit. Now we're going to go for a commercial break because I saw this one. I want you to notice, I'm not going to say anything about it, I want you to notice the imagery of this commercial. Take a look.
Lightning fast, lightning strong. Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world.
The imagery of the lightning bolt in his hand, the sons of God, the daughters of men, the fusion of opposites, the hand of the mysteries. It's all there. People, we are being flooded, literally flooded, with these images that is preparing the minds of people to receive the Antichrist in days that I believe are shortly and rapidly coming. Are you ready? Speaking of Revelation 9:11, do you remember September 11th, 9/11, 2001? Remember these images. Here we have the goddess, and she is looking over the columns that fell. I remember in the newspapers that came out shortly after 9/11, we had all of these images of the Statue of Liberty, the goddess, weeping over the broken columns of the Twin Towers. When I saw that, I went, I have seen that somewhere before. Guess what it is? This is the Masonic image of the broken column. The column represents, here we have the goddess. Notice she has a book. She is holding acacia, which is thorns, in her hand. Thorns are a type of curse in the Bible. She is on a pedestal of 3 steps. That's the Masonic Blue Lodge rituals. She is holding the book. She's holding the acacia, the thorns in her hand. And she's weeping over the broken column. The broken column is the broken body of Osiris, her husband. Orpheus, whose body was dismembered. Osiris, all of these other gods who were destroyed and killed. And she's weeping over him. And of course we have the image of Saturn, which is Satan, Father Time, consoling her and playing with the ringlets of her hair. It's like he's braiding her hair, sort of like DNA is braided together. That's that imagery there. She is the goddess. Now I want to go to what she's holding in her hand. We see a date, July 4th, 1776. We're going to break this number down here in a little bit, but I wanted to show you that the tablet that she's holding in her hand is very interesting. It has a very, very interesting and peculiar shape. It's called the Royal Arch Keystone. I want you to notice this Masonic graphic. Here we have opposites. We have the sun on one side. We have the moon on the other. That represents opposites, day and night. We see the 7 stars below the keystone. That's the 7 rays on the crown of the Statue of Liberty. We have the 2 pillars, Jachin and Boaz. They represent the 23 chromosome pairs that are inside the human cell where the DNA is stored. And they are polar opposites. They represent the sons of God and the daughters of men. And these two are joined together by what's called the keystone. Notice even the Piscean symbol on the keystone, that is a symbol that shows opposites. They're joined together by the keystone of the Royal Arch of Freemasonry. This keystone is an emblem for the Antichrist. I want you to notice down at the bottom of this emblem, we have a coffin with a cross on it. That represents Osiris, Orpheus,